I know everybody's excited about Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but there are so many other comic books that we have to talk about. So grab your vibe juice and let's get into it. What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Keep It Comics. As always, I am your gracious host, C3. And before I get started, as I always do, I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for stopping by, checking out the channel. I would like to show my appreciation to all our new subscribers by also saying thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. If this is your first time watching these videos, please, by the end of the video, consider subscribing to the channel. And even if you don't subscribe, please give us a like, because that'll really help us, reach more people, all right? So I thank each and every one of you very much. I know I couldn't do this without you guys, and I have a lot of fun dropping these videos for you guys each week. Today, I want to try something a little different. I actually want to do a giveaway. So if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll do a giveaway, all right? And I'll give away a really, really neat prize. What I want to do is I want to try to reach at least 500 likes. If we reach 500 likes, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away one of my comics that I picked up for New Comic Book Day, and I'll reveal that at the end of the video. So stick around to the end, all right? So without further ado, you guys know the drill. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please feel free to ring the bell so every time I do a video, you wonderful people will get that notification. You know what it is over here. It's good vibes only, baby. Leave all the nonsense at the door. And let's jump into the list. I've got 3 honorable mentions I want to talk about before we dive into the top 10. And the first honorable mention I want to start with is published by Marvel. The title is Avengers Annual Issue Number 7. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this book was released on July 5th, 1977. And the key factor to this book is it is the death of Warlock, right? Pip the Troll, and Gamora. It is the first appearance of all 6 Infinity Stones. This book is showing considerable gains on the secondary market, and I want to talk a little bit about those numbers with you today. The last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on April 14th, 2022, where the last book sold for $26.50. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 161.95%. Doing fairly well on the secondary market. I really like those numbers. The average sale for a graded copy in a 9.6 was $492, and the average sale for a raw copy was $31.20. And that's not bad at all. That's a very, very decent buy-in price point. There has been 320 raw copies of this book that have sold so far, with 58 graded copies that have been sold on the secondary market, giving us a total of 378 copies of this book that has sold on the secondary market. And the highest known sale for CGC 9.8 in this book was back on March 20th of 2022, where that book sold for $516, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, $516 for a CGC 9.8. And the fair market value has this book resting at $492 for the MCG of the 9.6, which is the most common grade. MCG is the most common grade. All right? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My first honorable mention, which is Avengers Annual Issue Number 7. Get yourself one. All right? Moving right along, I have another honorable mention that I want to show to you guys, all right? And that book is coming from Marvel also. And the title of that book is Daredevil, issue number 181, okay? The key factor to this book is that it is the death of Elektra. Yes, Elektra is getting a lot of action right now with Daredevil. And with the new streaming services, there's a strong possibility that Elektra might be making her way on these new shows that are coming up in the future. The release date for this book was on April 1st, 1982. The last recorded sale for a raw copy was on April 16th of 2022, where that book sold for $39.12. And I think that's an excellent buy-in price point for buying on that book. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 98.21%. And I've watched this book for about a month now continue to just increase in sales on the secondary market. So I was happy to add this one to the list for you guys. Now, keep in mind that this is not a book that I myself am interested in, but those numbers were moving at such a rapid pace that I thought I would add this to the list for all our Electra fans out there. I myself am not an Electra fan, but I did want to make sure that I got this information out to the community because I know Electra has a very good following, and one of them happens to be my daughter. You know, my daughter is a big Electra fan, so I wanted to add this to my list. All right. So this book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 98.21%. The average sale for a graded 9.8 is $299. Average sale for a raw copy of this book is $43.02. Okay? There has been 1,142 raw copies of this book that have sold, and there's been 335 graded copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market, giving us a total of 1,477 books that have moved on the secondary market from the beginning of the year till now. And the highest known sale is for that of a CGC 9.9, which sold back in February 27th of 2019. Yes, a few years back, but that book sold for $4,100, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, the fair market value has the 9.8 resting at $299 for the most common grade. The most common grade is the 9.8. And I can see why that is. So a lot of times when you have a book that has a significant print run, right? So there are a lot of these printed. So in order to save value, you know, every now and again, a 9.8 a surface, right? Which will separate that 9.8 from that multiple prints of that 9.8. That 9.9 separates, you know, it will stand out. So you may have X amount of 9.8s in on the CGC census, but you only have so many, few. You only have a few amount of the 9.9s, right? So that's what adds the value to this type of book. All right. So yeah. Daredevil, issue number 181. Get yourself one. Absolutely. All right, I've got one more honorable mention that I want to bring to the table that I want to show you guys. Now, these are books that I continue to just watch on the secondary market, and as they produce numbers, I want to bring them to the comic book community and let you guys know what I see. This is a very strange book that I saw, and I just knew that it has some people out there that might be interested in it. This book was published by Mirage, and the title of this book is Gobbledygook, issue number 1. I love that. Gobbledygook, issue number 1, right? Yes, Gobbledygook. I like it. It was released on December 1st, 1986, and it is the key factor to it is it has a very early appearance of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in an ad. Yeah, for all my turtle fans, absolutely. Bert, yep. All my boy Dave, all my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans. This one's for you. The last recorded sale on the raw copy of this book was on March 27th of 2022. That book sold for $35.99. This book is also currently trending upward right now at 693.23%. So there's a lot of movement with this on the secondary market. I thought it was worth bringing to the community's attention. The average sale for a CGC 9.8 is $260, and the average sale for a raw copy, mid to high grade, is $137. There has been 158 raw copies of this book that have sold so far, and 12 copies of a graded graded that have sold thus far, giving us a total of 170 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. The highest known sale for a raw copy of this book was $399.95, and that was back on March 24th of 2022. The fair market value has this book resting at $260 for the MCG of the 9.8, and that is not bad at all. All right, it has that very first early appearance. You know, like a lot of people talk about, what is it, True First? Yeah, so this could quite possibly be the True First. All right, so if you see this book out there in the wild, you may want to try to get your hands on a copy of it. All right, so those are my 3 honorable mentions. Now, before we go any further, I want to have another sip. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the top 10 most trending comics on the secondary market. All right? The first one I want to bring to your attention, coming in at number 10. This book was published by Image. The title of this book is Spawn, issue number 1. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Todd McFarlane greatness, the Godfather, the Todd Father, right? This book was released on May 1st, 1992. The key factor to this book, it is the first appearance of Spawn. Yes, I love it. The last recorded sale for 9.8 was on April 18th of 2022, where that book sold for $197.50. This was another book that has a large print run, but it's still a book that people are definitely searching for, and they want to add this book to the collection, but they want it in a good grade, right? So nobody wants the floppy tails, nobody wants the spine ticks. Everybody's looking for that 9.8 that they can add to their collection. And the reason I add this one to the list is because I think now's the perfect opportunity to get your hands on one, because this book is currently trending down, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what I always say, strike while the iron is cold, right? No one's thinking about Spawn right now. So now's the perfect opportunity to grab yourself a 9.8. Let's talk numbers a little bit more. All right. This book is currently trending down at it's down 3.86%. And the average sale for a 9.8 is $190, while the average grade for a raw copy is about $28.55. So you can find yourself a decent copy for not a lot of money. All right. There's been 5,256 raw copies that have sold so far, and there has been 1,893 graded copies of this book that have sold so far, giving us a total of 7,149 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. Now, mind you, we know that Spawn has a very big fan base to it, and the Todd Father is great at what he does, and this is just a small glimpse into the skill and the talent that Todd McFarlane has. And a lot of people want this book, but they want it in that perfect grade, that mint or that near mint, or even if you could find one in the gym mint, man, good luck, because that would be super fresh, super dope. Real talk. All right? So here we go. Listen, the highest known sale is for a 9.9, and that book sold on December 1st of 2021, and that book went for $9,995. Yes, I am happy to report that. Absolutely. Because, again, like I said before about the last book, when you have these books, right, that have that giant print run, how you separate it from the others, like, because you know there's going to be tons of 9.8s in that particular, for that book. So how do you separate it? You create a 9.9, right? Your value is in that 9.9. So that's what I see. In my experience, that's just what I've grown to understand. You know, when you have a book that has a major print run, and you know there are going to be quite a number of 9.8s in that book, what will they do? They'll create a 9.9. Like, and if there was a bunch of 9.9s and you wanted to create another value for it, you make a 10, and you separate it from the rest, right? And that's where the money's at. The money's in that 9.9 or that 10, all right? But Yeah, $9,995 for the 9.9. The fair market value has this book resting at $190 for the MCG of the 9.8. When you get the opportunity, look on the census, look on the CGC census and see how many 9.8s there are. And then in contrast, look at how many 9.9s there are. And you guys will see what I'm talking about. That's a little homework for you. I give you a little homework. All right. You guys check it out. Chime in. Hit me in the comment section. Let me know what you find. All right. So that's number 10, ladies and gentlemen. Spawn, issue number 1 from Todd McFarlane and Image. All right. Coming in at number 9. This book is published by DC. The title of this book is Black Lightning, issue number 1. It was released on January 4th, 1977. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Black Lightning. The last recorded sale of a raw copy was on April 18th, 2022, where that book sold for $15. Right? Now, I myself, I'm not a big Black Lightning fan. I watched it when it was on Netflix. I watched it. I watched a little bit of it. I wasn't impressed. I like my heroes that have a little more power to them. You know what I mean? He was all right. He's all right for a local hero. He's all right for a local dude. All right. And the reason I have this book on the list is because even though I may not be a big Black Lightning fan, but that doesn't mean that you guys aren't, right? So I know I got some Black Lightning fans out there, and I think this is a perfect opportunity to get your hands on this book because this book too is also trending down at 17.73%, right? So it's down 17.73%. Perfect time to get your hands on this book. Strike while the iron is cold. All right. The average sale for a CGC 9.6 in this book is $265. And the average sale for a raw copy is $32. So it's perfect buying opportunity right now. No one's paying attention to Black Lightning. Sales are down a little bit. If you've always wanted a copy of this book, here's your opportunity. I can't stress it enough. Buy when the prices are low. Don't wait for everybody to start paying attention to the book. Don't wait for them to announce that they're going to do a new Black Lightning series, or they're going to now Black Lightning is going to pop up in a DC movie. Don't wait for that. You get it now. Add it to your collection now. Why it's at its least expensive point, right? And then you have it already. All right. So there has been 937 raw copies of this book that have sold, and there's been 279 graded copies that have sold, which gives us a total of 1,216 copies of this book that continues to move on the secondary market. The highest known sale for a CGC 9.8 in this book is $995, and that book sold on January 1st of 2021. The fair market value has this book resting at $265 for the most common grade of the 9.6. But that 9.8 is out there, right? And, you know, $995 is still not bad. It's something that you could save and you could work toward. You know what I mean? So it's still an obtainable book. And again, that price is actually down right now. So you may be able to strike a deal. You negotiate with the person. They may be willing to release the book for what it's actually listed at. Just taking account of making sure you make a fair offer, and the person may allow you to walk away with the book. All right? So that's a DC book, ladies and gentlemen. Black Lightning, issue number 1. Get yourself one. Coming in at number 8, this book is published by Marvel. The title of this book is Thor, issue number 1. But I'm talking about that third print. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. The key factor to this book is it is a reprint. It is a reprint of first cover appearance of Jane Foster as Thor. Yes. This book was released on December 24th, 2014. The last recorded sale was a CGC 9.4, and it sold for $199.95. And that was back on April 18th of 2022. This book is currently trending downward, ladies and gentlemen. You see, you see the pattern? Strike while the iron is cold. We have some books that are worth going after right now, right? Because even though we have the new Thor movie that is also coming, right? But still, this book is down. This book is worth getting your hands on because I have a funny feeling that Jane Foster is going to do phenomenal in this movie. I think the actress that they have playing Jane Foster, leave a comment in the comment section. I can't remember her name right now, but I think she's going to do awesome in this story. I think she's been primed, prepped, and ready to go. And I'm really looking forward to this movie. All right? Yeah, this book is currently trending down at 0.63%. Strike while the iron is cold. The average sale for a graded CGC 9.8 is $355. And the average sale for a raw copy of this book right now in a modest $143 from a mid to high grade in a raw copy. There's been 31 raw copies of this book that have sold and 11 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 42 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market since the announcement has been made. Everybody's watching that trailer and everybody's getting hyped up. Everybody and they're going after these books, right? Even though the sales are down, this book is still moving. Be smart. Grab this book while it's down. Don't wait. Don't wait. I can't encourage that enough. The highest known sale was back on May 5th of 2021, where the 9.8 sold for $449.99. I don't know about you, but I would like to try to grab a book. I try to grab it for about $355. I try to negotiate a little bit. Can I get it for $3? No. What about $325? And we work from there. We negotiate. We come to an agreement. But as long as I don't have to pay $450 shipping and handling, I consider walking away with a good deal, right? The fair market value has the book resting at $355 for the most common grade of the 9.8. So keep your eye on this book. And I'm talking about Thor #1, but the third print, all right? Coming in at number 7, ladies and gentlemen, is a Marvel book. And the title of this book is King Thor, issue #1. This book was released on September 11th, 2019. The key factor to this book is Assad Ribic, second print. Assad, second print. Yes. The last recorded sale for this book was on April 18th, 2022 for a 9.8. That book sold for $245. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen. Now, mind you, minute gains, right? But remember what I always say, slow money is show money. Slow money is better than no money. So this book is gaining, and I think it will continue to gain as we continue to watch these trailers surface, right? And the more they start talking about Thor, I think this book is going to pick up steam. All right, so this book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 0.04%. All right, the average sale for CGC 9.8 is $237, where the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $52.40, which is not bad at all. The raw copy, there's been 175 raw copies that have sold so far and 24 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 199 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 in this book was back on April 26th of 2021, where that book sold for $299.92. And that is still not bad at all. That's not bad, right? The fair market value has this book resting at $237 for the most common grade of the 9.8. King Thor, issue #1. Coming in at number 6, we have another DC book, ladies and gentlemen. And the title of this book is Batman, issue number 313. You know it. You listen. Batman, baby. I don't care what you say. The world's greatest detective. One of my favorite heroes. He's got to be on the list. Got to, right? This book was released on July 1st, 1979. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Timothy Fox. Yeah. The last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was April 18th of 2022. That book sold for $153.99. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 2.48%. The average sale for a CGC 9.6 is $564. The average sale for a raw copy, mid to high grade, is $123. There's been 363 raw copies that have sold and 54 graded copies that have sold so far, giving us a total of 417 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back on October 11th of 2021, where that book sold for $1,999. Yes. Listen, it's a Batman key. I can't stress this enough. Just because DC's not making great movies does not mean that their comics that we grew up on are not great. Come on now, you know you love who don't like Batman? Stop it. We love Batman. Trust it. Trust it. The big three. The big three, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Everybody else, you already know. Get to the back of the bus. All right. Fair market value has this book resting at $564. And the most common grade for this book is 9.6. Batman, ladies and gentlemen. Issue number 313. First appearance of Timothy Fox. Coming up next at number 5. And before we go any further, I want to stop like I always do. We're halfway there, right? I want to just take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for stopping by, checking out the channel. And if this is your first time stopping by and seeing the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. And give us a like. It would really help us out a lot. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to do a giveaway also. All right? I know I can't do this without you guys. You guys keep me motivated. I enjoy what I do. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I just like bringing this information to the community. All right? So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I can't express that enough. I am deeply humbled by all your encouraging comments and the way you guys just make me just feel so welcome in the comic book community, man. So I really appreciate it. I really thank each and every one of you, man. Thank you very much. All right? And you know, it's good vibes only, baby. You know. All right. With that being said, back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 5, we have a book that was published by Marvel. And the title of this book is The Mighty Thor, issue number 1. This book was released on November 18th, 2015. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance. It is Jane Foster lifts Mjolnir. The first time Jane Foster lifts Mjolnir, right? Jane Foster is battling cancer, but her mortal body is saved when she raises the hammer and changes into Thor, right? Her mortal body is dying, but her Thor body is a goddess. It's dope. I like that. I like that. All right. So the last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on April 18th, 2022. That book sold for $125. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 14.80%. And I like those gains in this book. And like I said, the more they talk about these trailers and the closer we get to this movie dropping, I see this book continuing to rise on the secondary market. The average sale for a CGC 9.8 in this book is about $99. So for about $100, you can get yourself a 9.8. The raw copy in the mid to high grade is going for $55.21 at the moment. There's been 224 raw copies of this book that have sold. There's been one graded copy. So that gives us a total of 225 copies that have sold so far. The highest known sale for a raw copy was back on April 18th of 2022, where that book sold for, like I said before earlier, $125. Fair market value has this book resting at $100 for the most common grade of the 9.8. So there's a strong possibility that you can negotiate that $100, right? It's the average sale for is like $125. You tell a person, hey, I want to pay for shipping on it. Can I get it for $100? You never know. And even if they don't agree to it, $125, that's still a fair price, right? For the book. If it's what you want, $125. I know if I wanted the book myself and and the person wanted $125 for it, I'd offer them, I give you 110 for it. I give you 110. And if they don't take it, I'd probably be like, all right, I give you the 125. I don't know. That's just me. I buy what I want. That's just me. I'll try to negotiate the deal in the beginning, absolutely, because you definitely want to try to save some money. But if it's in the budget, I'll grab it for the 125. It's not gonna hurt nothing, especially if it's a book that I want in my collection. But one thing I'm gonna say is this: I'm not gonna buy the book just because it's being all hyped up because trailers are dropping. Now, I said it. Thor, the Mighty Thor, issue number 1. Get yourself one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving right along. We are at number 4 right now. All right. This book is published by Marvel. The title of this book is Strange Tales, issue number 138, the regular edition. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of eternity. Doctor Strange comes face to face with eternity. Yes. Last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on April 17th, 2022, where that book sold for $109.49. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 25.34%. The average sale for a CGC 9.0 in this book was $600 for a 9.0. The average sale for a raw copy of this book runs roughly about $75 to $80. All right. The raw copies, there has been 347 raw copies that have been sold, and there has been 61 graded copies that have moved on the secondary market, giving us a total of 408 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. The highest known sale for a CGC 9.8 was back on December 31st of 2020, where that book sold for $8,495, ladies and gentlemen. The fair market value has this book resting at $600 for the most common grade of the 9.0. That, my friends, is a book worth going after. Yeah, the first appearance of eternity. Think about it. You could have that book in your collection. But please, no peer pressure. All right. Strange Tales issue number 138, the regular edition. Get yourself a copy. We've made it. We are at our top 3 books. All right. Coming in at number 3, ladies and gentlemen, this book is published by Marvel. The title of this book is The Submariner, issue number 32. Yes. Got some Namor. Got some Namor on the list. I like it. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance. It is the first appearance and the origin of Lyra. Yep, the first appearance and the origin of Lyra. This book was released on December 1st, 1970. Last recorded sale of a raw copy was on April 10th, 2022, where that book sold for $70. This book is currently trending upward at 40.44%, ladies and gentlemen, and the average sale for CGC 9.8 in this book is $2,640. The average sale for a raw copy is $43.01. This book has, and the raw copies of this book, there's been 174 raw copies that have sold and 5 graded copies that have been sold, giving us a total of 179 copies of this book that has moved on the secondary market. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back on March 7th of 2022, where that book sold for $2,640. And the fair market value has this book resting at $2,640 for the most common grade of the 9.8. Hey, listen, I put it on the list. What you do with it from here is completely up to you. All right, guys. Number 2. This book is published by Marvel. The title of this book is Contest of Champions, issue number 1, the 1 in 25, Lanil U variant. The Lanil U variant, right? The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of the White Fox, Amy Han. First appearance of White Fox, Amy Han, right? And it's the White Fox's first cover appearance. So you get double the pleasure, right? 2 times the dopeness. Can't go wrong. This book was released on October 7th, 2015. The last recorded sale in a raw copy was on March 28th of 2022, where that book sold for $227.50. Now, I love when I see a modern comic like this take off on the secondary market. This book is proving that the comic book industry continues to grow. There are new collectors out there. Listen, this book is a book that can enhance your collection because there is a market for this character. And these numbers that I'm about to tell you about is going to prove it. There's a market for these characters. This book sold for $227.50. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 74.59%. The average sale for CGC 9.8 in this book is $1,379, right? And the reality to it is nobody's paying $1,000 for a dud. It's just not going to happen. Watch this, though. The average sale for a raw copy is $184. Now, there has been 87 raw copies that have changed hands on the secondary market, and there has been 14 graded copies, giving us a total of 101 copies of this book that has moved on the secondary market from the beginning of the year till now. It is, let's count them, January, February, March, April. We're at the end of April. It's finna be May, so you're talking 4 months, right? 100 copies of this book sold. This book is going to continue to do numbers because guess what? It's a perfect time to buy this book. This book is still trending low, $184 for the raw copy. There's a market. This book is going to continue to go up in value. This book is going to be heavily sought after as they continue to watch how the MCU grows and expands and then initiates new characters into these movies. Pay attention, people. Feige knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And they have a plan. Marvel has a plan. All right? So there has been a sale of a CGC 9.8 that took place back on March 6th of 2022, where this book sold for $1,499.99. This book sold for $1,500 last month. Right? 9.8. Yeah. No one's paying $1,500 for a dud. Right? So that's why this book made the list. White Fox has a following. Fair market value has this book resting at $1,379 for the most common grade of the 9.8. It's definitely a book you may want to add to your collection. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We made it. To our number 1 most trending book on the secondary market. This book is published by Marvel. The title of this book is Spider-Woman, issue number 20. Nah, I don't discriminate. Not even a little bit. This book was released on November 1st, 1979. The key factor to this book is it is the first meeting of Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, and Peter Parker, Spider-Man. You guys got to know this is going to happen at some point. This is definitely going to happen. So you better grab this while the getting still good, man. All right? Last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was back on April 20, 2022, where that book sold for $20.50. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 87.37%. The average sale for a CGC 9.8 of this book is $468. The average sale for a raw copy is $45.15. I like that price right there. And I'm definitely looking for this book. I need to add this book to my collection. So you guys will probably wind up seeing that book behind me in the background somewhere. Just about every book that I show you guys is probably a book that I'm either going after or think that you guys may be interested in it. So if you look behind me, you'll see books that I present to you guys. Yeah, these are books that I'm chasing. So it's not like I'm just trying to sell you information or nothing like that. I don't do that. But I'm just having fun sharing the information that I use to go after my own books. I'm just sharing it with the comic book community. So I hope you guys enjoy it and have as much fun with it as I do. Right? So, yeah, the average sale for a raw copy is $45.15. There has been 285 raw copies of this book that have moved on the secondary market, and there's been 27 graded copies, giving us a total of 311 copies of this book that has moved on the secondary market. And just as sure as I can help it, it's going to be 312. The highest known sale for a CGC 9.8 was back on October 6, 2021, where that book sold for $495. Yes. And the fair market value has this book resting at $468 for the most common grade of the 9.8. All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have your list. Go out there. Be careful. Don't make any hasty decisions. Remember, never jump out the airplane without your parachute. Have fun. The hobby is supposed to be fun. No pressure, no stress. You don't have to have your lights cut off in order for you to get the key that you want to add to your collection, right? You don't got to miss a car payment. You don't got to do any of that. Pace yourself. Take your time. If there's a book that may be a little over your budget, save for it. Stack your chips, man. It'll be there when you get there. Trust me when I tell you. And if that book happens to inflate and go above them, it'll come back. Trust me. They always do. They always come back around. All right? So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I appreciate each and every one of you guys stopping by, checking out the channel. So, just like I promised, if you hung around to the end, before we go, I want to do a giveaway. And I'll explain to you how I want to do this giveaway. All right? So, I want to give away this Hulk, issue number 6. And it is the first appearance of Titan, right? This was a pretty popular book last week, and I have quite a few copies, and I want to give one away to the comic book community. So what I want to do is I want us to see if we can get 500 likes. The channel is growing considerably, and I actually had one comment, got one subscriber in the comment section. He noticed the likes. He said, basically you could tell he was like, wow, you got a lot of subscribers, but I didn't get a lot of likes. So he was like, wow, only X amount of likes with X amount of subscribers? Whew, tough crowd. So let's see, let's set a little goal for ourselves. Let's see if we can make 500 likes. If we get 500 likes, I'm going to give this away. And remember, I'm going to give this book away to someone who leaves the encouraging comment in the comment section. So leave an encouraging comment in the comment section with the hashtag #KeepItComics. And leave your like number in there so I know who you are. All right? But let's have fun doing this, okay? I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let's see if we can get 500 likes. Let's continue to grow the channel. Each one, teach one, and we all grow together, man. All right? So with that being said, you know what I always say. Don't hate, congratulate, show some love, because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate. But no matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, when you see your boy, always keep it comics. Peace.